Alright, y'all, so in this video I'm going to be giving y'all some tips, tricks, and some things y'all ain't know about sniping, bro. I'm going to be showing y'all how to become a demon with the sniper on GTA 5. Now obviously this game has been out for 10 years now, and I'm sure a lot of y'all are at least decent with the sniper, but there's obviously new players becoming PvP players on a daily basis. There's still new gen players still trying to figure out what they want to do on GTA as far as PvP. And if sniping is one of them things that you like to do, but you want to improve on, this will be the video for you. This video will really get you good on hitting your shots as far as timing them, drag scoping them, and just overall predicting where your opponent is going to go. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so the most important thing that you need to have set for sniping is obviously your settings. Now, obviously, I can't sit here and tell y'all what settings are the best settings because it's all personal preference. That is something you would have to find out. If you are better with slower settings, you use slower settings. If you're better with faster settings, use faster settings. But I'm gonna show y'all what settings are the most important when it comes down to sniping. First thing first, if you're a beginner and you play on standard, I recommend you play on standard FPS 2, because if you're playing standard and you're sniping, you're not going to be able to stray fast and buy ammo at the same time. If you need to buy ammo, you see I'm moving slow, you know what I mean? So if you want to be able to stray fast and buy ammo at the same time, you definitely have to make it to where you have to be on standard FPS 2. All right, and I'm sure there's like another setting that you could do it with, but I prefer standard FPS 2, and I will show you right now. Say I'm strafing at normal speed, and I'm able to go to my interaction menu and still keep that speed, you know what I mean? So make sure you guys play on standard FPS 2. So the main settings that y'all want to focus on, bro, is the third person aiming sensitivity, the third person look around sensitivity, and the third person look acceleration. Those are the three most important settings you need for that you need to focus on to come down to sniping. I will show you right now that if you lower the setting all the way down, when you're aiming with your scope, it will be really slow. All right, this is as fast as it goes. But if you make this shit go all the way up, you see it goes way faster. You see how fast that is? So if you want to have more of a faster setting when you are sniping, make sure that you turn both of these up. The third person look around sensitivity and the third person aiming sensitivity. Now, if you want more responsiveness when you are sniping as far as movement with your scope, make sure you lower the third person aim / look dead zone. The lower it is, the more responsive it is. The higher it is, the more delayed it will feel. All right, I hope that makes sense. So those are the three main settings that you will need to really focus on when you are using the sniper. All the other settings are like your movement settings, your actual like look around sensitivity and shit like that. So you go ahead and you tweak with that, and yeah, bro. I also recommend that you put your first person look around sensitivity all the way up, just so you could look around fast, you know what I mean? And you always want to have a fast turn when you're sniping, you know what I mean? You don't want to be slow with it. That's something you don't want. I mean, if you want to do it, bro, by all means. Like I said, it's personal preference, but obviously if you want to spin faster and get to your opponent faster, you obviously want to have a faster look around sensitivity. So that is also important as well. All right, these are my camera settings right here. I definitely recommend that you make sure the FOV is as high as you can be, so obviously you can see more of the screen. These are all my camera settings, so if you want to go ahead and copy these, go ahead and do that. Now for the display settings, you really don't have to change that much. I would definitely recommend turning off motion blur, so that way you don't get like too distracted by the blur when you're moving. And then end game depth of field effects is actually very important. Make sure you turn this off, because if you leave this on, basically what this is it makes the whole background blurry. It makes it to where when you focus on something, everything becomes blurry. And as you're sniping, obviously it's gonna be blurry on the outside if you're focused on something else and not your opponent, if that makes any sense. For example, let's say that this wooden pole is a player, right? As you can see, the whole background is blurry. You do not want that, bro, because that could also distract you as well. Make sure you guys turn off in-game depth of field effects, and you should be straight. As you can see, everything looks so much more clear, and obviously you won't be distracted by the blurriness in the background. So y'all boys, make sure you go ahead and turn off that setting. And yeah, that is it for the settings. I mean, like I said, you guys go ahead and find the settings that you need to play with. If I were to give you my settings, it would not help you at all. I promise you. It's definitely personal preference when it comes down to settings and getting used to your settings and getting used to what you need to feel on your controller as far as movement. All right, so in this clip, I'm gonna educate you guys more on the strafing mechanic while sniping in GTA 5. Now, obviously, there is no direct way to tell you how to do the perfect strafe, how to do the hardest strafe. It all comes down to your experience and the way you move your analog sticks. But there is some do's and don'ts that you definitely want to follow when I explain to y'all how to strafe. And they're pretty obvious. They're pretty, you know, it's common sense. I understand that strafing a certain way could probably help you with sniping, but if you don't want to get hit as easy, be sure to definitely follow what I'm about to tell y'all in this clip. First thing first, you do not want to be strafing for one way for too long. As shown in this clip, I had my boy Dash demonstrate what I mean by that. Obviously, nobody should be strafing this long, but you'd be surprised. I do see a lot of people, a lot of players that aren't as experienced with the sniper do this shit to help their aim. So as you can see in this clip, this strafe is actually very easy to hit. If you're just going one direction the whole time, somebody that is well experienced with the sniper, all they have to do is just drag it. It's really not a complicated strafe to drag at all, or they could adjust their scope and time it as I do in this clip. I mean, it is as simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. It is very simple. It is a very simple strafe to hit. Even if you're moving your analog stick occasionally, you definitely do not want to have one of them longer strafe. It is very, very predictable and very, very easy to hit. The only time I recommend you move from one direction for a long period of time is if you are closer to your opponent. If you and the player is very, very close to each other. Obviously, going one direction while you're close to somebody would make you a harder target. Since your opponent is literally using a scope against you, they will have to adjust their scope more if they are closer to you and you are moving more. It really depends on distance. I mean, it's really hard for me to explain, but that was literally the best way I could explain it. But the same way you don't want to move for a long period of time, mid-range or from a distance, the same thing also applies to people that have that jittery strafe, in which I will demonstrate here on the screen. You can just tell they're doing too much with the analog sticks, bro. Make you down there feel bad for their controller. Like, bro, relax, bro. Relax your fingers, bro. What are you doing, bro? I understand you probably might have a lot of experience with being your meat, but bro, relax your hands, bro. Like, what are you doing, bro? You definitely do not want to be strafing like this, bro. That is a no-no. As you can see, the player that is demonstrating this is going nowhere. He's literally only staying in one spot pretty much. So obviously, if you're strafing like this, that leaves you more vulnerable to people that are really good at drag scoping. Shit, even if they're not good at drag scoping, I'm sure they can hit this easy ass strafe. You can also time it as well, but long story short, do not have it strafe to where you're moving towards one direction for a long period of time, and don't have that strafe where it's very jittery looking and it's like you're barely moving at all. You want to have that balance where you're doing both, if that makes any sense. And what I mean by that is I will show y'all right now on screen and demonstrate what a good strafe, in my opinion, looks like. I also want to let y'all know it does not matter what strafe you do. You're going to come across players that do not, it just is not going to matter how you strafe. They are that good. They can hit any strafe. It does not matter. So the best tip that I can give you is to focus more of your sniping than your strafe. Don't try to snipe people worried about your strafe. As long as you're not doing what I just told you to do, do not worry about your strafe, bro. You want to be focused more on your sniping than your strafe, because if you're focused more on strafing, you will lose focus when you're sniping. If you want to be a fucking demon with the sniper, you have to be very consistent with hitting your shots fast. Now I'm gonna tell y'all some tips on what to do to get better at drag scoping and timing your shot. Now obviously I can't directly tell y'all how to drag scope or how to time your shots. That all comes down to practice. The more practice you get, the better you will get at drag scoping, the better you will get at timing your shots. But like I said, there is tips I can give you to help improve your drag scoping and timing your shot. So the obvious tip is the tip I literally just said: practice. Practice with people. If you want to get better at drag scoping, Make sure that when you are sniping with somebody, you're only focused on your drags. That's literally it. Same thing with timing your shots. If you want to get better at timing your shot, practice with somebody that you know obviously isn't a weirdo, because a lot of people definitely care about score on this game. So you definitely want to practice with somebody that you could chill and get better with and just focus on timing and dragging your shots. Now, if you don't have nobody to practice with, there's a tip that I've been telling people for years to do, and it helped me, and it also helped a lot of people that actually snipe today. And I'm not sure if y'all know, but the wooden poles at the beach is like the punching bag for snipers, bro. Yes, understand, the pole is stationary. It does not move, but don't let that fool you. It is very, very thin. Therefore, it's going to be very, very difficult to hit. If I were you, I would practice your drags against hitting that pole. You would know if you hit the pole, if you see smoke come out the wood, you could drag scope it, you could time it. And I actually have a challenge for all of y'all. I challenge you to use the MK2 sniper and then hit all 7 shots in a row with drag scopes. So drag scope all 7 shots from one side to the other. You drag left and you drag right. You drag left and you drag right, and try to hit all 7 shots without missing. Trust me, it is harder than it looks, bro. But what this is going to do is help you in your sensitivity with your drags. It's going to help you with your short drags. It's going to help you with your long drag. To also get a better understanding of your sensitivity when it comes down to adjusting your scope and timing your shot, I will focus on adjusting your scope and then timing the shot on the pole. Another good way to get used to your sensitivity while sniping is to do a long strafe and keep the white dot in the center of the pole for as long as possible. Now what this is going to do is it's going to help you do them little slight adjustments to get you to adjust your scope at the right distance to time your shot. I actually did it twice in a peaceful limit 1v1 that I just had. That is definitely no joke. Make sure that y'all are practicing against that pole. Pause if you're a boy. Yeah, that's if you have nobody to practice with. But obviously the best practice is somebody that can sit there, practice with you, chill with you, help improve you, and obviously people that are better than you are going to take you to that next level. So that's my take on how to get better at drag scope and timing your shots. All right, so right here I'm gonna give y'all a little tip to lower y'all chances of getting hit when you are coming out from corners, from building. Maybe you want to come out from a corner and snipe your opponent, but you are afraid he's going to have that advantage to time you as soon as you come out from that corner. Now obviously if your opponent is closer to the corner, he might just fucking throw a rocket at you. But if he's at a distance, 9 times out of 10 he will definitely try to snipe you from the corner. So what I do is I take advantage of the sticky bomb by throwing it down. Make sure you're not too close to the sticky, of course, because obviously you will blow up, especially if he sees it. But 9 times out of 10 it will throw him off guard. If you can throw 2 sticky bombs, it'll be better. The more smoke, the less exposed you are to a sniper. And you detonate the bomb as soon as you come out of the corner. You will basically just be coming out like Batman, bro. So the whole point of this tip is to use the smoke from the sticky bomb to hide your body from coming out the corner. That's literally it. Like I said, if your opponent is closer to you, he might fuck around and throw a rocket. So you don't always want to try this. You only want to do this if they're at a really far distance and you know for sure that they're using a sniper. All right, and that's about it. But all right, y'all, that's gonna be the end of this video. This was more so for like the casuals, the people that don't really know too much about sniping. Obviously the game has been out for 10 years. I may have said a lot of obvious shit to a lot of people that are very experienced with the sniper. Don't gatekeep the video, bro. Go ahead and share this with your trash homie that thinks he's good with the sniper, bro. I made more of a advanced sniping tutorial like 4 years ago in 2020, where I almost say the same things I say here in this video, but I get a little bit more in depth with strafing and timing your shots, etc, etc. If y'all want to check that out, I definitely will provide y'all with the link to it in the description. And yeah, that'll be in this video, man. Like I said, if y'all boys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'm out, bro.